and call it nested for loop.py. Let's save this, and here I'm going to write keys. I can create a list for that. It could be a set or list, doesn't really matter, but better to be a list. So for consider that we have two groups of people, and we want to pick two people, a groups of two people, and we want to know the different probabilities of the two people. So this problem will put us through a nested loop, and I'm going to explain how it does happen. So for example, we have James, Jack, and Mike, and for values we have, for example, Sarah, we have Alice, we have Kate, and then imagine that, for example, we want to know the groups of two people, one of them from the group keys and the other one from the values. So for example, James and Sarah, James and Alice, James and Kate, Jack and Sarah, Jack and Alice, Jack and Kate, also Mike with also the three values of the list. So here we want to create a dictionary using the keys and the values. So let's see how we're going to do this. So here, for example, we can say dict equals, and we define declare an empty dictionary, and then use the nested for loop in order to print out different kinds of ways in which these three will face these three. So it could be, for example, a team of ping pong players from the boys' school and from the girls' school, which are going to face each other, and all of them are going to play with each other. So we're going to see the different pairs of these players with each other. And in order to do that, we can write for I in range length of keys and also for j, and notice that the variable we use for this one should differ from the other one, because this is a nested for loop and these two variables are going to be mixed up together. So let me write the complete one in range length of values, or we better say here boys and girls. Anyway, so here we can create a dictionary this way. So we need to update the dictionary to add the different ways of pairing. dict.update, and inside the parentheses here we can write the keys and the values. So the keys are the boys, the values are the girls here, or it could be vice versa, it doesn't really matter. So here I can write boys, I, and in the values part I can say girls, and J. So J here is for the girls, I is the numerator of the boys. So ID of the boy here, the item, the first item is James, so I equals 0 is James, boys with I and girls with J. Anyway, so let's print this dictionary. See what is the outcome here. So here I'm going to run nested for loop instead of for loop. So loop.py. Okay, can't open this nested loop, so this is nested loop actually. Nested for loop.py. There we go. So here, as you can see, we have first James and Sarah, James and Alice, James and Kate, James and Kate, Jack and Sarah, and then other components have been changed and added up. I probably need to edit this result in a better ways. So here we should also use the clear method for dictionaries so that we can have all the different ones and see them equally. So let me do this and you will understand what I mean. So here, as you can see, we have 9 different ways. James with Sarah, James with Alice, James is going to play with Kate, Jack is also going to play it with all of the trios, also Mike. So we have 9 ways in which these 6 players are going to be facing each other. And so we use this nested loop in order to see how these players are going to face each other. Imagine that we have a longer list of players. For example, here we have Nick, and here we have, for example, Jane. So when I run this code, you will see that I think we have 16. Yes, we have 16, and as you can see, there are 16 games that are going to take place for these 4x4 players. And here we go. This nested loop here did this for us in a fraction of a second. You can add up any other number of names. For example, this one could have 5 players, this one only 4 players, and it's going to predict the matches. I mean, draw the matches for us. For example, here there could be also Lisa. Save this and run it. There will be 20 matches here for 4x5 actually, and we're going to see all the matches printed out in the fraction of a second. And there are, in so many ways, we're going to use these nested loops. There are so many places, so many problems and examples where you can use a nested loop here, but this one is one of the simplest ones out of all. So by solving different algorithms, writing different algorithms and solving different problems by coding, you can easily get used to this nested loop. It's not something very hard. It only takes practice.